Preliminary to the 21st Army Group's northern Rhine crossings, Field Marshal Montgomery confers with Lieutenant General Simpson of the 9th Army and Major General Anderson, 16th Corps Commander. Bailey Bridge equipment, collapsible boats, rafts, pontons, all earmarked for a Rhine assault, are stacked up in a forest clearing.
Gilbert, my husband, deceased, will be awarded the French Medal of Honor, which they called Chevalier, Legion of Honor, and it's presented by our ambassadors, and I am very excited about that. Very. I just wish that my husband was here to receive that personally. In France, they went through Bichat, and Bichat is just before the pillboxes on top of the mountain, Bogus Mountains. And that was a very difficult battle to get through there. The men called themselves the Sons of Bichat because they had to work so hard to get that freed up so that they could move on and go up that mountain. And they did. He saw a lot of his buddies die, injured, wounded. He also helped the medics bring down soldiers from the high mountain, bring them down while they were being shot at, of course.
The Ludendorff Bridge across the Rhine at Remagen. For 10 days it withstands aerial attacks and constant artillery fire while First Army troops exploit the initial breaching of the Rhine River line.
They crossed into Germany. They crossed the Rhine River. There was no bridges, they were all blown up. And those bridges were put up within hours. And then Gilbert was walking across the Rhine River with his group. Then all the trucks and ambulances, everything went across that river.
On 16th March, a treadway bridge is used by troops consolidating positions across the Rhine. General Hodges' army, driving for the central German plain, also employs Navy craft to move up reinforcements.
He went 3 times out on patrol, to see where the Germans were so that they could find out, how to arrange their next battle. And Gilbert said that he was so close, he had a few guys behind him. He was so close he could smell the cigarettes smoke from the Germans. And then he could hear them laughing and everything. At one time, they almost didn't make it. They almost got caught. So.
Shoulder. Cool.
He loved his job. He worked for Boeing. He took good care of his family. He's got many, many friends. People gravitate to Gilbert, even though he's quiet, His war record, really, to me, is the greatest thing. Looking at this map behind me is to see where he was and follow, the troop everywhere that they were going. It's all marked, every bit of it. And the difficulty of it, the tremendous difficulty. So I feel like he's leaving behind wonderful memories and what he stood for. He loved America. I do too.
Without further ado, I give you the Consul General of France, Alexis Andrés, to perform one of the most moving ceremonies. It's the highest honor, civilian honor, that France bestows, the bestowing of the French Medal of Honor.
First of all, I can say that in those 4 years that have been posted here, the ceremonies where I've had the privilege to honor veterans of World War II, have always been very moving and it has taught me a lot about not only our friendship, but also the way you honor your veterans. This is something that I would say friends could get some inspiration, because indeed we also have a long history of our army and we have our veterans, but I think you have a special way of doing this. And when I see this table, I remember when I was the guest of honor of the Army Ball in Houston, and that was in 2018, and that I was explained and that I saw the ceremony for the first time. I really thought that's a good example of this special way you have to honor your veterans. And we're here all to pay tribute to the late Gilbert Laura, in this place where his memory is more vivid than anywhere else, since it's also tied to souvenirs of joy and full of life. And Catherine, I think it's also very special to have this intimate setting, and the fact that next door you have your dance floor, where every month with Gilbert you did dance, and that also makes this connection between life, death, and the future very special. And it also reminds us of the burst of people dancing in the streets when the war finally ended. Let me tell you now about the Legion of Honor. The history of this award stems back to 1802, after all French orders of chivalry were abolished during the French Revolution. Napoleon Bonaparte, who was then the first consul of the First French Republic, instituted a new order as a way to recognize merit, the National Order of the Legion of Honor. This was meant to reward civilians and soldiers who had achieved great things in the service of France. Since its creation, the award has remained the highest, most prestigious decoration in France, and it is given solely as a recognition of merit or bravery, being open to men and women of all ranks and professions. 15 years ago, France decided to follow a more active policy of awarding this medal to the American veterans of World War II, as one more symbol of our strong friendship that has endured for centuries. A friendship that was forged in Yorktown, Virginia, on American soil more than, 245 years ago. A friendship that was renewed in the crucible of the trenches in the Meuse, Belleau-Wood, and the Marne Valley during World War I, and once again on the bloody beaches of Normandy or during the terrible winter of the Battle of the Bulge. An unbreakable friendship that has never disappointed nor been undermined. Ladies and gentlemen, today I am here to present to you, Catherine, the insignia of the Legion of Honor. But we may wonder, naming Gilbert Laura a knight in the Legion of Honor, what does it mean to be a knight today? Ideas of horses and swords are commonly associated with knights, and even if horses are very common in Texas, we don't see that many knights in shining armor. So, what does it mean today? I think that being a knight refers to a very human concept that has remained untouched for centuries. It means that you have demonstrated bravery, virtue, and strong commitment to a noble cause. And I think from what we heard from the life and military career of Gilbert, we can truly acknowledge that the knight is a rank to which he was entitled. Today, in the name of the French people, in the name of the President of the French Republic, I thank Gilbert Laura, even, alas, posthumously, for his personal contribution towards the liberation of France, and I recognize him as a true hero of the greatest generation to whom France is forever indebted. Vive la France, Vive les États-Unis d'Amérique. Long live Europe at peace. Long live the friendship between France, Europe, and the United States of America. I will now pronounce in French the formula that we use when we present this award. Catherine Lauréat, au nom du président de la République française, je vous présente les insignes de chevalier dans l'ordre national de la Légion d'honneur de votre défunt mari, Gilbert Lauréat.